Hey Virgo, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So, what I do here is love reading. What I'm going to do for you today, Virgo, is get the general relationship energy, the love energy, between you and your romantic interest going into the week of February 6th. Now, the way that I do that is I draw three to get a good idea of your energy going into it, Virgo. And then I'm going to draw three to get their energy going into it, to get your interest, whoever this person may be. And a lot of times it's pretty cut and dry, pretty clear. Things make sense on the, just on the surface. But every once in a while, something may seem out of place. Now, everything came out here for a reason. So just because, we may not understand exactly what it means right off the bat, I do have a second deck here for clarification, should that be needed. There are a few things that I always clarify, but try to always clarify. I don't always clarify it, but I usually always clarify it. The devil being one. But luckily, as of right now, the devil ain't here. At least with the actual meaning so far. So Virgo, I'm going to start with you and get a good idea of your energy first. Leading it off is the Three of Pentacles, which is success in the physical world. The physical world could be anything from money to your personal possessions to also your health, your physical health. And by health, it could be, actually illness, sickness, but normally in love readings, when it comes to health, is more so the health of your person that you're putting out, your physical health, how you feel about your own appearance. If you feel like you are a 1 out of 10, then obviously that energy that you radiate is going to be negative, it's going to be depressing. And if you feel like you're a 10 out of 10, then you will radiate positive energy, but also run the risk of being cocky, because the thing after the feeling that you're what you need to be is then feeling that you've extended past the 10. You're an 11 out of 10. Now, instead of being confident, now you're cocky and overbearing and more than what you are, more than what somebody is. We all know that person that tries too hard. We all know that person who's an 11 out of 10. But Virgo, you're the 10. You're the 10. This is how it is. You got to understand that. You got to realize that. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is completion of a cycle. It's fate, a new phase, a new dynamic in your relationship. Something has changed. It's not a sudden change. It's been building up. And then you have the Sun. The Sun is a renewed passion, a bright future. It's desire for the best, desire for success, a desire for, really getting the best out of life. It is you moving in a forward, positive direction. Virgo, this is a week that you are going to have the power to understand your situation and adjust it as needed to further yourself in a positive direction. You have really fascinating energy, very fascinating energy, because you already have confidence in character. You already have confidence in your physical appearance, your physical world. You have the energy to know what you have to offer. And that change, that understanding is new. It is new. It's been building for a while. But this is that week that it finally snaps. You know, you've been building confidence. I know what I'm worth. 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 And then suddenly you hit that moment. I know what I'm worth. That's that. If you like it, you like it. You don't, go kick rocks. You've hit that moment. This is that energy. If you use it in the right way, by being confident but also being humble about it, you can make massive strides toward making yourself a better person, a more confident person, somebody who carries themselves with their head high, as you always should. But Virgo, there are times in our lives when outside circumstances causes us to have our heads down. It happens to all of us. But bring out the 10 that you are and show the sun. Show it. Let it come out and illuminate the world of who you actually are. Virgo, you have your 10. You are your 10. You're your 10 out of 10. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you're worth. Because I guarantee you're worth more than you think you are. So let's go over your romantic interest. Things are a little different here. They're leading it off with a hanged man. The hanged man is somebody who is looking at things from a different point of view. That point of view can be good. They could be seeing a better, circumstance, a better reasoning, or that point of view could be a changing of a point of view to a negative way. If an optimist sees something in a negative light, then they have become a pessimist. It's not necessarily, now they see, if an optimist now sees that the glass is half empty, then they have turned into an optimist or a pessimist. That's a changing of viewpoint. And that's vice versa. If a pessimist now changes their mindset, they now see the glass is half full, then they have now become an optimist. So, could be good, could be bad. And I'm not saying that a pessimist is bad and you just see things differently. This is just changing your point of view. That's it. And then they have the Chariot. Now the Chariot is, it's fast moving. It is a powerful relationship. You have two strong people pulling a chariot, the chariot being your relationship. You have two strong people pulling it along. Things are going in the same direction because the relationship is still moving forward. Now, there's one thing about the Chariot that you have to keep in mind. And I believe this, really keep this in mind, because this is actually going to have a lot to do with the last card in here. The Chariot, while it is two people going in the same direction, their direction is not identical. So for a while, if things continue as they are, things will continue to go as they are. But they're not pulling 100% in the same direction. They are pulling away from each other ever so slightly at first. It may not even be noticeable. And sometimes as we pull apart, we'll pull back together, and we align and then unalign and then align. But if it never aligns, eventually it will pull apart so far that the Chariot will no longer be moving forward because you two are pulling in different directions. And you know what happens when people are pulling in different directions. The Chariot gets ripped in half and everything sucks now. Keep that in mind, because they also have the Two of Swords, which is a refusal of issues. It's a refusal to see the truth. They're not ignorant to the truth. They're not blind to what's going on. They know what's going on. They at least know there's an issue, but they're choosing not to see it. And this is because they have looked at it from a different point of view where they think things are fine. But they know that they're not in line anymore. We have similar goals. You're both going down the same highway, but is the exit you're getting off on the same as theirs? Their view has shifted. Your confidence, if you are humble and don't let it turn to cockiness, you might be able to pull this person out of whatever this crap is, but it's going to require you putting in the effort. And a relationship is supposed to be 50-50. It is. In this particular relationship, it is you and another person. This relationship should be 50-50. You putting in half, them putting in half. And that's how it should be. But in this relationship, this dynamic is going to change. They may not seem like they're putting as much into it. Instead of just staying where things are at, my recommendation, Virgo, and you do what you want. You are a free person to do what you want. Your life is your life, and nobody else can control that. But my recommendation, fill in the cracks. If they start pulling back to, 40% of what they should be putting in, make up for that 10%. Make it 60-40. Don't let them not see you making an effort. Because if you don't make that effort, that Chariot, the original thing I was saying about things pulling away from each other and slowing down the Chariot to where it eventually stops and rips in half, that could come to pass. What they're thinking could happen could really happen. They're not seeing the whole picture on purpose. They don't want to admit to themselves that what they see is a bad thing. And that's up to you to change that. You have the power. They don't. They're shelled off. They're reclusive when it comes to that particular issue. So if you want that issue to be squashed at your heel, I'm sorry, Virgo, but you are the one wearing the shoes. That's not them. You're the one that's going to have to do the squishing. That's the best way to ever hear that with a problem. You're going to be the one squishing that problem. Makes it sound more appealing, like squish that problem. Now I want to squish a problem. That sounds so neat, squishing a problem. I'm going to have to use that one again. Maybe next week, Virgo, I'll sneak that in somehow. And if I do, let me know. So, with that, Virgo, focus your energy, make it happen, take care of the problem, take care of this relationship, make it work however you want it to. You have the ability to make that happen. So, thank you so much for sticking through the video, hearing what I have to say with the messaging here. It really does mean a lot. And with that, Virgo, I will see you next week.